Hi, my name is August Delarue. I'm the project manager for Pinon Development. I'm here in our beautiful model home in Cameron Meadows today to talk to you real quick about crawl spaces and how we put a little extra effort into designing our crawl spaces so that they're conditioned. 95% of the homes that we build are on crawl spaces. Unless it's a slab on grade or a special circumstance, we typically build on crawl spaces here in our area. And we always condition our crawl spaces. The bottom line, compared to a conventional crawl space, is that a conditioned crawl space gives you better efficiency of your heating system, as well as a better living environment on the inside of your home by giving you better air quality. So I'm going to explain to you the details behind how we condition our crawl spaces, and we welcome any questions or comments you may have. Thanks. All right, here we are down in the crawl space. This is our model home's crawl space. A few things I want to show you real quick, so pardon the camera moving around in the crawl space. Here's all of our ductwork. This is all of our heating and air conditioning ductwork that flows through our crawl space. And as I pan to the left, you'll see that our crawl space floor is lined with a 6mm reinforced poly. That helps to mitigate the radon gases. And then probably the most important feature of the crawl space conditioning system is this vent fan right in front of us. It's this white grill with that silver duct. That basically vents fresh air. It vents air out of the crawl space, brings fresh air in the house, and runs continuously at a very efficient speed, and basically costs pennies a month to operate. One last thing is you can see our crawl space wall is an ICF wall, insulated concrete forms. That gives us a nice R23 on the perimeter of our crawl space. Alright, I'd like to just illustrate for you some of the differences between a conventional crawl space and a conditioned crawl space. So what you're looking at here is a conventional crawl space. It's a rough sketch, but basically, if you see down here, here's the crawl space, and here's the living area up above. So we insulate the joists between the crawl space and the house. So in effect, your thermal envelope, the area that you're conditioning, keeping warm in the winter or cool in the summer, is inside the living space, and it ends right here at the floor joists. And the way that crawl spaces are vented conventionally are with two vents in the side of the stem wall. Here's one, and here's another. And let's just say the wind is blowing from the right, blows into the crawl space, kind of moves around in here, removes any moisture, radon gases that may be in there, and blows out the leeward side. The big thing I want to point out about this is that your furnace, this is your furnace and your ductwork. If you buy a high efficiency furnace and you have all the ductwork flowing through this unconditioned air, you're going to lose a lot of that heat that's being produced by that high efficiency unit. So you're going to lose some of the value that was put into that high efficiency unit. So some big ticket items I'd like to just point out. There's no fresh air exchange system for the house, for the living space above. There's no effective radon mitigation. The crawl space is about 10 degrees Fahrenheit within that of the outside temperature, depending on the temperature outside. And the forced air ducts and furnace are surrounded by cold air. Alright, I'm going to show you another sketch here of what we do here at Pinon Development for our crawl spaces. There's a lot more going on here. So at the heart of our system, we have a vent fan in the crawl space that basically just vents air out of your crawl space and draws air from the crawl space and vents it out. And there's two makeup air ducts that draw air from inside the house, the conditioned air from inside the house down into the crawl space. And then it slowly trickles towards this fan, which vents it out. By doing this, you depressurize the house slightly, very slightly, and you get a little bit of fresh air coming in through microscopic cracks in your windows, doors. No matter how tight of a window or door assembly you've got, you are going to have those microscopic cracks that allow air to come in when you depressurize the house slightly like we're doing here. We also have a radon mitigation system. There's a vapor barrier along the entire crawl space floor here. So the theory is that any radon gases that come up from below we're going to find the path of least resistance and go straight out this radon vent through your roof, so they should never enter the house. Also, we insulate the crawl space walls here and here, because in effect your crawl space is now inside the thermal envelope. All the air down here is conditioned, and so your furnace and the ductwork is all flowing through warm air in the winter and relatively cooler air in the summer. It's very close to the temperature inside the house, so you're not losing much of that efficiency, if any, to a temperature differential between the crawl space and the house. So I'll zoom out here. Our system provides a constant trickle of fresh air into the home, which is great, especially when you're building homes very tight like we do. We do install an EPA recommended radon venting system. The crawl space is usually within about 5 degrees of the inside temperature, not the outside temperature like you saw in the previous sketch. And the forced air ducts and furnace are surrounded by conditioned air, which increases the efficiency of the system, or takes advantage of the full efficiency that you pay for in your furnace. So again, I'll just give you a kind of a step back shot of this, as opposed to a conventional crawl space. Thanks a lot.